Shift Hawk says palindrome, please. Please. Okay, I don't know who these people are. I know who Wonder Woman is. I don't know who Ellie Goulding is. Okay, starting at basic, looking for palindrome. Okay. Palindrome. Basic. Perfect. We can do this one. What is a bonfire? Fantastic question, Internet. A bonfire is an algorithm challenge. So here it's like bonfire, check for palindromes. So we're going to build something that will see if it's a palindrome or not. That's a bonfire. Yes, someone with 0 programming experience can join and benefit. Absolutely. You might notice my dog in the background. He's a cone. He's okay. All right. Return true if the given string is a palindrome, palindrome being the same forwards and backwards. Otherwise, return false. Am I frozen to everybody? Okay. We are going to ignore punctuation, case, and spacing. Remember that. That's important. We're going to have to probably use some regex, which everybody knows is like my favorite. My name's Briana, by the way. So no punctuation, case, or spacing. We'll pass strings. Strings are just like text or symbols or whatever. Strings don't have any rules about what you smush inside of them. Reminder to use this, and they suggest we use string replace and string to lowercase. People that are not familiar with bonfires yet, you should know that whenever they have helpful links, open those and look at them. So let's open them in new tabs and just take a peek. Just take a peek at what we've got here. They're not always necessary to solve those algorithms, but they probably really are helpful. And you're probably going to want to look into that. Sherry, you are not the only one finding algorithms hard. Sometimes when I went through them the first time, it took me a couple days to get through one, and that's okay. Just keep going. It's all right. They're hard. Okay, string.replace. So it looks like the 2 links here are to MDN, Mozilla Developer Network, articles. I'm in the process of writing scripts for new videos about how to read an MDN article. So string and replace, and it goes through all the different parameters and what you can do. Focuses on regex. And string to lowercase. This is not necessarily regex, but it is important because it will take everything in the string or everything in this first entry and it will put it in lowercase, which matters because we want it to be equal, but we're not. It doesn't matter if it's uppercase or lowercase. So we're going to need to make it all uniform so that it doesn't have a false false. The opposite of a false positive. Okay. All right. Oh man, here we go. If anybody, goodness, chances are I'm going to be doing this not the most efficient way, so feel free to have as much help as you want in the chat. I will be looking at it. Okay, something that I constantly have to remind myself when I'm trying to solve an algorithm, or really anything in my code, I want to go ahead and put my most basic steps, what I'm going to, just outline what I'm going to try to do. So the first thing I want to do is get the original string to be free of punctuation, case, and spacing. That's what I want to do. Get original string free of punctuation, case, and spacing. Okay, chat's just talking about Twitch things. Okay, so if I get the original string to everything, just like all the basic stuff, then I want to have a new variable, which is the string reversed. And then I'm going to compare original string and new reversed string. If they are equal, true. If not, false. Pseudocode. Hey, this is pseudocode. All right. Does this look okay to everybody? This doesn't look like I'm totally on the wrong track, which is a possibility at all times. Cool. All right. So this is our outline. Get original string free of punctuation, case, and spacing. This is my least favorite part because it has to do with regex, which I have to relearn every single time I have to use it. Okay, so we're going to check this out, which I have to do every time I do regex. Junebug 2K, don't be lost. It's okay. We are going to check for a palindrome. Stay with us. Shift talk. I don't know. I can't answer that question if the work field needs pseudocode, but I do know that documenting what you're doing and keeping notes is important, so if anybody else looks at your code, they know what the heck you're trying to do. This kind of outline that I did might make it easier for somebody else to look at it and say, oh, I see what she's doing here, without actually having to go into detail at all the code. Okay. So string.replace, oh man. Chat, help. My brain in regex doesn't work. It'll be much faster if you help me with this regex than watching me like go through this. Do development on your regex on regex 101, then transfer it back to JavaScript. Okay. Haven't done that before. I like it. Let's try it. regex101.com. Steve Carroll is like on it and see, man, how are you guys so good at this? Where do you get so good at regex? I'm just going to go with the chat, St. Peter. If I was on my own time, I would take St. Peter's suggestion, I would do this, and then transfer it into my JavaScript. However, I'm Briana, not Brittany, but it's okay. I'm just happy you're watching. I don't know why you're watching, but I'm happy that you are. Okay. String.replace. I'm on my phone over here looking at the chat. Oh, I like that. Have a new string. String normal equals spaces. String.replace. This slash means that we're starting a regex thing, and then we'll exit out of that in the regex thing. But in here we're going to do, this means it's including all of, no, we're replacing everything that is not, the caret means is not a lowercase letter or an uppercase letter from A to Z to A to Z, or a number from 0 to 9 globally. I see a quote, what? I'm confused about what this is, chat. I see this after the G for global, and I don't understand why. Everything else I understand. Okay, and then 2 lowercase, I like it, we can just tag that on there. I see that, Jeff Storbuck. That's funny. It's a joke about regex, sort of. Is that regex, or is that just the thing? Okay, let's see if that works. Let's just return no double quote, 2 single quotes. I get it, because we're replacing it with nothing. I hear ya. Okay. String normal is being replaced with nothing. Okay. Let's see if that need close bracket. Oh. I need a comma. I got the comma. Calm down. Close bracket. Close bracket goes after, oh, it goes right here. Yeah. Jeez, chat, I hear you. I'm missing things. Okay, it worked. Man, you guys are so good at regex. Okay. So, step 1, check. We have the original string free of punctuation, case, and spacing. We did that with this variable, string normal, coding by committee, yes. And we checked it by doing a return clause. Okay, so step 2, new variable, reverse of a string. That one I know how to do without your help, probably. We'll see. String reverse equals string normal reverse. I'm not positive that that has these guys at the end. Shift talk, where can I learn more about this bit in particular? If you're talking about regex 101, there are some challenges on regex in freeCodeCamp. If you're like me, it doesn't matter how many times you do them because you're going to forget it and you're going to need to do it again. Oh yeah, I have to split it. Dot split with nothing, dot reverse, dot join with nothing. Let's see if that worked, but it is a palindrome, so we have to add some things. That worked. Great. Okay, so step 2, check. We have a reverse of the string. Fabulous. Okay, step 3, compare original string and new reversed string. I'm going to combine step 3 and 4 in lines 6 and 7. Does it really matter if it's single quote or double quote? I don't know. I have not come up with my own preferred version. I tend to mix it up, which I know is bad. Okay, so we're going to compare it in the if statement, and then based on that comparison, return true or false. If string normal triple equals string reverse, then we will return true, else we will return false, else we will delete this, oops, not all that, video lags chat a bit. Yes, are you talking about the chat for Twitch? Because there's about a 30-second lag that is there. Oh man, St. Peter, that's so much more efficient than what I just did. Hang on, I have to go back. You're right. Return. Look at this. We don't even need all this baloney. Get those extra characters out of there. Boom. We just checked for palindromes, you guys. Good work, team. What are we going to do next? Are we going to do this one next? Find the longest word in a string? All 177 of you? Did you fall asleep? Why are you still watching these? These are funny. Okay, whatever. Okay. St. Peter. Yeah, St. Peter's like... When Quincy started talking about who was helping the most, I was like, and St. Peter, how much bonfires will I show you? I will show you as many bonfires as we can accomplish until I get super tired and need to eat. That's the real answer. I work at a restaurant at 5 o'clock tonight, and I will need to eat before then. Okay. I see pairwise, no bonfire reverse. Tell you what, bonfire reverse is quick. Let me do that one, just like in a hot second, and then we will decide between pairwise. Somebody wants me to do an advanced one. Ooh, you just want me to see, you want to see me stare at the chat the whole time and be like, do what now? Okay, go back to map. You will get banned, Lions. You will be banned. Don't try. Don't do it. You should know I am a teacher, and I'm like a strict teacher. I'll ban you. Okay, I'm searching for reverse. This one you're talking about? Because this is how you do it. Return string dot split. Nope. I think it'll work. String dot split. Did you guys hear that? That was my dog. Reverse dot join. Is this true? Is this how it's gonna work? Okay, guys, get on task, guys. Quit talking about. Get your poop mouths out of here. On task. Because I just did a bonfire in that whole time that you guys were messing around. I just did reverse a string for the person that asked, which was moving forward. We just did it. All right. So we are going to go ahead and look at, we'll have to link to the YouTube soon. Oh, cool. Gotcha. A link as far as if you're just tuning in, the summit is over. You are no longer watching a summit. I'm so sorry. That's not me. It was Quincy and Berkeley and Blake and Michael and myself, and it was about an hour and a half, and that will be on YouTube soon. That is over, and now we are working on Bonfires, which are algorithm scripting. I'm taking requests from the chat as far as what to do. If you make a request, you should know that if it's advanced, it will take me a while, because even though I've solved them, it's been a while since I've done it. Can you explain that, please? XCon22, I'm not sure what you're referring to. If you're referring to this function, reverse a string, I can do that. So what we did, we used 3 methods to return the same entry but reversed. The first method is split. What split does is it takes the string and it divides it into an array. So if we just do this, if we delete all the rest of this, and the first part that we're entering is hello, and we run, then you can see down here it's an array. And every character in the original string is a different string entry in that array, just as one character. It is split by nothing. So every time, every character is when there's here. If we have 2 words, and here there's a space, it will divide every time between a space. So if we run it here, you'll see 2 entries that are words, right here. The second method we used is reverse, which is pretty self-explanatory. It's what flips it around. If we show you reverse of hello that is split, it's going to be HELLO backwards, still in an array. Right here. Yep, image 36, it will split based on what's between these quotations right here, just like in the third method we'll use, which is join. To learn more about methods, check out Mozilla Developer Network. The list of methods is really helpful, but they also list ones down here that will be helpful for this specific specific one. So here, join does the opposite of split, but the quotations mean the same thing. So once we join them, it returns hello backwards. The important thing is reverse only works on arrays. Yes, if we were to try string.reverse, like I tried earlier on the last bonfire I solved after I got cocky and thought I didn't need the chat's help, then it won't work. It's like, hey, you don't know what you're talking about. That's not a real function. I only work with arrays. So we're like, yeah, you only work with arrays. And we put it back, then it's like, yeah, I could do that. So there we go. Felt that need for speed. Yeah. Okay. No repeats, please. Where's that at? Let's go to the map. No repeats. Oh man, that's a hard one. You're trying to make me do this for hours. How long did it take you to get JavaScript? I have been working hard on JavaScript and it seems not to be clicking. XCon22, for me, when I first started learning JavaScript, it was on my lunch breaks, my first year teaching. For me, it was kind of an escape. It was nice, it was relaxing for me, and I went through Code Academy, JavaScript, before I found freeCodeCamp. Syntax clicked with me pretty quickly. So it depends on what's not clicking with you. I think syntax is one thing, but being able to think about problems and solving those problems in JavaScript is another thing. And that didn't really click for me until I started doing the bonfires, which was hard. But being able to look through the methods and try to figure out what was possible, combined with my previous understanding of the syntax, is when I started to sort of understand. That being said, I still don't think I get JavaScript. There's way more that I don't know than what I do know. Is this where the live stream is going to be? Pick 9117, I have bad news. The live stream already happened. I mean, this is a live stream, but the summit already happened. It was started about 3 hours ago, 2.5 hours ago, and it will be up on YouTube soon. Now, This is just algorithm scripting on Bonfires. Everybody's trying to get me to do the hard ones because they think it's funny. At least Jeff does. The other one probably, Simply Matt, actually seems relevant. Sorry, Jeff. It's good to see you back on Free Code Camp, Jeff. Image 36. Yes, writing out what you are trying to accomplish in pseudocode really helps. Absolutely. Especially myself. I have ADD. I know, you're shocked, right? Everybody's super surprised. And so if I don't write down the steps while I'm thinking about them, then I will write like 2 lines of code and be like, what am I doing? Where am I? What's the problem I'm trying to solve? Chat just wants to watch you struggle. Urgh, chat. Okay, guys, we will do no repeats. Here's the deal. You're going to be helping me a lot, and you're going to be putting up with the fact that I'm not very efficient at this. Lichen, I think that is extremely possible. I took medication, and it is officially gone. So, there's that. Okay, fine, we're doing this. Fine, okay. I'm so happy. Bonfire, no repeats, please. You guys are so nice. You make me feel better about that. I thought you guys would be like, oh, no wonder she's so scatterbrained. You're like, hey, we all are this way. Join the club. Okay. No repeats, please. Return the number of total permutations, word that we're going to look up, of the provided string that don't have repeated consecutive letters. That sentence is a brainful, okay? So we have to look at what permutations are. We have to, you guys, chat, stop, you're distracting me. Permutations, what are permutations? Consecutive letters, repeated consecutive letters. So like if A and A are right next to each other, that's a problem. That is a repeated consecutive letter. If Z and Z is right next to each other, that's a repeated consecutive letter. If it's 4 Z's, that's 4 repeated consecutive letters. That's a problem. We cannot count that in our total that we will be returning, because that's our goal. We're returning everything that does not have any repeated consecutive letters. Okay, so if we've got that, for example, oh, it goes ahead and like says this. This is a bad idea for stream. Haters gonna hate. So when I first started doing this Bonfire, the thing that blew my mind and like totally got me on the right track, a permutation of AAB, like that can have as many different permutations. There are formulas for this. Permutation is just like how many ways can we mix up the letters? You know, so if there's only 2 letters, there's only 2 ways you can mix up those letters and have them be different. If there's 3 letters, there are 6 ways that you can mix up those letters in different ways. But since 2 of those 3 letters are the same, several of those different versions are going to look identical. Does that make sense? So if I have like, you know, twin brothers and then their older sister, I can rearrange them as 6 different ways. But several of those ways will look identical if those twin brothers are dressed the same and I can't tell them apart. They're still different people, but it looks the same. So when we're working with characters, that's even harder to differentiate. But that's a comparison that is in my head. Chat, you can tell me if that makes any sense or not. You know, whatever. Okay. I have solved it before. It was a while ago. We are going to do it today. Again. Okay, so that's all they give us, basically. Permutation of indices. Words. What grade do I teach? I'm a teacher. I teach K-5 music in a super poor small town. How much longer will I be streaming? Several hours. Okay, so I'm avoiding starting this because it's going to be hard, but we are going to start. Okay, so let's do some pseudocode. By 4 my fix. Pseudocode. So what do we need to do? First, we need to figure out all the possible permutations, right? Sure. You guys will correct me when I'm wrong. Figure out all possible permutations. This will not be on YouTube later. The second thing we need to do is... That's my dog. Delete any. We don't necessarily need to delete any, I guess. We just need to count. We need to figure out a way to sort, I guess. We need to figure out, how are we going to do that? Identify if permutation, singular, if a single permutation has any repeated letters. Nobody's objecting yet. Yeah, he's a beast. Yeah, that was my dragon dog. He's a lab. He's a mess. Figuring out all the permutations. Checking if they have any repeated letters in there. And see, the thing that's confusing, we're not counting repeated permutations. It doesn't matter how many repeated letters are in a row, because if there's anything repeated, we're not counting it at all. So then whichever ones don't have repeats, count those or add those. Total return total number of whichever don't have repeats. That sentence feels like it's grammatically a hot mess, but does that make sense to anybody else's brain? Figuring out all the possible permutations. How many there are? Do we need to figure out how many there are or what they actually are? We need to figure out what they actually are because we're going to have to look at them and see if they have any repeated letters. Figure out, yeah, okay. I don't remember how I did that the first time. We could remove all repeated characters and see if that, filter. That seems like it'll be helpful. I did not use any functional programming when I did this the first time. Identify if it has any repeated letters, return total number, whichever don't have repeats. So when we do this third step, total length minus number of repeated letters. There's a couple different ways we could do that. That's the only one I have ideas for right now. Let's start by figuring out all of the possible permutations. Oh my god, okay. You guys can start giving ideas now because my brain is not coming up with any ideas. How are we going to figure out all the permutations automatically? Yes, simply Matt, we need to create a list of permutations automatically, basically. It doesn't even say, let's see what the tests are. The tests here aren't super long. Yeah, so for AAB it's only 6. But here, it's here. Ooh, that looks, these things look helpful. Swap 2 elements, which is 2. I don't understand those questions. I'm going to check out this link. The chat is on my phone, so I can't copy paste. Org, wiki, heap. Oops. 27. That will get you all the permutations, apparently. Apparently. Okay, details of heaps algorithm. Heaps algorithm. That's fancy. Okay. Gotcha. Permutation containing n different elements. So this looks, I can wrap my head around this. I saw in the chat 3/2. Now that will work for 6. I see what you're saying, but that won't work for all of the test cases. And because all the test cases are not necessarily the same length. Using recursion. I'm open to that, but you're gonna need to give me some more hints because I'm not there right now. You've never used a recursive function? Your mind is gonna be blown. It's awesome. Okay. Procedure generate. This is not JavaScript. I'm gonna try to understand it anyway. If n, little n meaning the element, no, the number of elements. So the length, n would be equal to the length of the input. If it's 1, then there's only one permutation. Got it. If not, if it's not just one character, then for I 0, okay, we're going to do a loop. What? Is it C? I don't know what language this is. I only know JavaScript. I'm still learning. I'm a beginner. If n is even, then swap. What is swap? Can somebody do this in JavaScript, please? Heaps. You guys did this when you asked me to do such a hard one. Heaps algorithm JavaScript permutation. Oh, it's pseudocode? It's Delphi? I don't know what those words mean, guys. Come on. Okay. Oh, I think this might be cheating. This looks really familiar. This looks like a solution. Here's string, number 2 string. If anybody is just tuning in, the stream still seems to be like the same amount of people. We're working on a bonfire called No Repeats, Please. It is the second to final bonfire. It is an advanced algorithm that took me days to solve. The first time. It will not, if it begins to go on and on where I can't figure it out here, then we will just move right along. It's not cheating. Okay. String is number 2 string. Okay, so they're making it a string. They're splitting it up into an array. Oh, I see. So they're making it a string, making it an array and splitting it just like we did in the reverse. Permutations is an empty array. Guys, quit arguing about pseudocode and help me figure this out. You asked me to do this and you will help me do this. You're not going to argue about what's pseudocode and what's not. Do that on your own time. Jeff. There you go. Here's my man, Jeff. Reduce function permute. Reverse. That looks better and less complicated than the one I see up on here. Jeff Storbeck, man of the hour. Okay, so I'm going to write this out because I can't copy and paste it. And then we're going to talk about it. And by that I mean I'm going to talk through it until I understand it. String dot split. I know what that means. Dot reduce. Okay, reduce is something that is cool. Guys, let's talk about pseudocode. No. Function permute. See, these kind of functions I love when I can understand looking at them and working with them, but they're not in my brain enough to write them from scratch. I'm not even gonna respond to that last thing. You need to get, that's not what this room is about. Res, item, key, array. Okay, that's a lot of items. Res, item, key, array. Okay. Maurice, that's enough. Return res.concat array.length. If it's greater than concat everything that's 1, greater than 1, and slice 0 key dot concat. If anybody just looked at this and totally understands everything that Jeff said, then you guys are the real MVPs. I'm trying to... If somebody could message me this on Gitter, that would be great. Array, slice, because I'm sure you don't want to just watch me do this over and over again. God dang it. Okay, Jeff or somebody else, give me just a second. This is taking me forever because whenever I take my finger off the screen and somebody types something else, the screen on my phone moves down. So I'm going to open up Gitter, and I'm also going to open up Twitch here so I can have the chat open. And Jeff, if you can wait a second and then just resend that, that'd be awesome because I'm just going to copy it. And you guys don't have to sit here and watch me type and listen to my dog drink water. Cool, so I'm here now. Jeff, please resend / anybody. Oh, perfect, it's on Gitter. Great, everybody gets to see all the things. Okay. Great. Thank you, Jeff. Where have you been, Jeff? You've been gone for a long time. Where have you been? Okay. Boom. Ooh. There. Okay. Now let's make this a little bit better looking. Wait. Man, I need to like do some reading on best, like how to make stuff look the best. You know? Best practices for JavaScript. You know what? I'm not even sure if this is going to be on YouTube. I don't think it will be on YouTube. Apparently it'll be on Twitch. I'm not playing any music. So there's no reason that it can't be places. Oh my gosh. Okay. I need to look at this. That's awesome, Jeff. Busy in the world. Pff, why would you do that instead of on the computer? String.split. Okay, so we're taking it, we're splitting it. We're reducing it, which is something that is covered in the curriculum on functional programming. How we're gonna reduce it is based on this function that we're just declaring right now. Permute res. Jeff, what is res? What is that stand for? How'd you get that? Item, key, and array. Return res dot concat. Slightly fixed, someone says. Less one line. Cat array length, and then we return string. So what we've done is we've gone through the array. We've basically created an array based on making those permutations. Based on this function is how we did the permutations and added them. Okay. So if we return string right now, will it be the same? Yes. If we return item, well, that's out of scope. Okay, so chat, I need help. So my mind is about halfway wrapped around this. Okay, so I'm gonna look at this. The MDN for reduce. Okay. Res and other keys, they're keys from reduce. Gotcha. Okay, so those other keys that are in that permute function came from here. Gotcha. Okay, this is still melting my brain a little bit. We have to assign it to a variable. What are we assigning to a variable? Just all of it? Like var permutations equals this. And then if I do return permutations, I spelled that right 2 times in a row. What do you mean item is not defined? Jeff. Nope. Broke your Chrome. Broke my Chrome too. I'm dreading this stage. It's broken everything. I have to refresh. Hey, it worked this time. Why did it work this time, but last time it broke the world? That's a great question that I just had. Why did it, when I refreshed the page, it did the thing? See you later, people that are leaving. Elite Swampone. Blastoise. I have a quick question about factorizing a number. Okay. terminal AAB. Run. Okay. Ooh, I haven't seen this website before. Oh, it didn't break, it just takes a long time. Gotcha. Cool. Let me open up my console. Is that the right command? I'm going to my console. Okay. You guys should note that I'm on the beta site. So, yep. Moe said, so let me answer your question. Here's the deal. It's kind of a little bit of both. I have solved this problem before on my own. This whole stream is showcasing algorithms, the bonfires on FreeCodeCamp. So part of it is helping new people understand. Part of it is helping people like myself who've already done it do it again and get some more experience and wrapping their head around this type of JavaScript. And part of it, I mean, I am also learning for real too. So that's also true. But it's not just for me. It's for everybody and people who are experts to help out and do this because they like it and it's fun. Okay. So it loaded. I'm going to run the code and I'm going to be looking at the console. That's why it didn't work. It's because it's not looking at the right thing. Is it? Jesus, dog. It's my dog chasing the cat, in case you guys were wondering. So I clicked it, and now I'm waiting. There's a slightly more efficient answer. I'm sure there is. What? This is my dog. Hey, Maurice. Say hi. Hello. Hi. Yeah, you don't need to be sorry. It's okay. I'm not offended. You're fine. You remember, I'm an elementary school teacher in a really low-income neighborhood. I hear much ruder. I hear a lot of things. It's okay. No, the cat beats the dog up. He's fine. I'm not seeing anything in my console, which is alarming. What am I doing wrong? Where's the console? Why is this not working? Yeah, it still shouldn't have worked. It did. There's the permutations though. I'm gonna. Okay, so that's awesome. That means that we have the first step. We have figured out all possible What do you want? We figured out all of the possible permutations. Jeff's given me a more readable. Thank you, Jeff. Just fix the spacing. Okay. Brain hurts. Yeah. Same. Let me close this because I have a tiny computer. Okay. I'm going to fix the spacing. Like I said, I need to read some materials on what the best common practices for spacing and stuff in JavaScript. If anybody has any suggestions, they should message them. Pardon me, no, I'm not console logging anything, DJ Monkey. Message me suggestions on that in Gitter. Because if you send them to me here, I will never see them again. Okay. How many levels is this function deep? Do you mean in like a... Maurice? In like a inception way? Like, what do you mean? Maurice, this is not going to work. You cannot be biting my elbow when I code. We'll insta-kill the browser. Okay, so we've done the first part. We have figured out all the possible permutations. And the next step is to identify which of those have repeated letters. Okay. So the next step, what we're currently trying to do is see if any of these have repeated letters, which of course they do. The way we're going to do that is we're going to need... How are we going to do that? We're going to need to filter. some way to look at each, either a loop or a filter, right? A way to look at each individual entry. The good part. Send that to me on Gitter, Torch, because I will not find it again here. A filter or a loop, right? To try and figure out, to try to identify each individual entry in the array. For each. I like that. For each. So we could use for each. And then inside of that for each function, we will need a way to identify if there is a repeat. And if there is a repeat, we could do two things. We could either see if there's no repeat at all, and then add that to a counter. And if there is a repeat, we could just delete it from the array. And then at the end, we could see the length of that total array. Regex. Great. Regex. Okay, I see sort, and I saw for each. For each made more sense to my brain. Chat, any suggestions before I just like dive in and start coding some baloney? Yeah, I'm gonna do it anyway. So permutations for each. I'm making those faces because my dog is being a clown. Yeah, it is this isn't advanced. This is a hard bonfire. Yes. Regex with lookback. That is a trendy term. What does that mean with lookback? Filter and index of. Oh, you guys. These are helpful things, but just the words by themselves, when I'm also worried about streaming and keeping up and like continue to code without doing too much research, which I guess I could do research. A little bit more information would be helpful. So I've seen, let's just make a list of what people are suggesting. So I've seen for each, I've seen sort, something about regex with lookback, filter, index of. Okay, do we need so much complexity? I have no idea. That's my honest answer. I don't know if we need this much complexity or not. This is a hard bonfire that I solved once, like I've said before, but it's been a while. So I'm not an expert on this. If that was the impression I gave, I'm sorry, because that's totally inaccurate. How loudly can you chew your antler right now, Maurice? I'm sorry, I didn't mean it. It's okay. So filter, sort, and for each are all ways of looking at each individual entry in the array. By Simply Matt. But the regex and index of are ways of seeing inside of those inside of those functions if there is a repeated thing. Return per match. Filter function. Right. Yeah, no, I'm familiar with how to use filter, I guess. I'm just not sure which one of these. Will they all work? And is there one that's clearly better than the others? Or is it really like they're just different ways of doing it? You can split a string into an array and find unique in it and get the length. And compute permutation. True. Sharma, but this is not this whole thing. We are moving on to the next step right now. Can we see your original code? Oh, God. Where is that? Yes, we can. Let's go find it. freeCodeCamp.com/Marie. We are gonna go look. It was fun time to go. Okay, bye, Lions Roar. We couldn't find you. I'm gone. Let me sign in. No promises that my original code wasn't a little bit hacky, because it might have been reduce. What about reduce? Which ones are you? Okay. No repeats. What? It's not here. Is it? Oh, that's one of my really hacky ones. Friendly date ranges. Yeah, I'm not seeing it. Well, bummer. Let's see if I saved it. I'm gonna check real quick. Jeez, dog. Holy moly. On my Google Drive and see if it's here. Because I did save some of my answers, my own code answers, on Drive. I tried to do all of them, but I was super inconsistent. Here we go. Okay, so I don't know if this is my final version of the code. Here we go. That was red for some reason. Okay. You will see in my code that I'm probably about to share that I did not, it's probably not very efficient, and probably, it's pretty embarrassing. Okay, so I'm gonna just, let's see what this does. Here we go. So this is my original code. That is so odd. Okay. What I did originally, apparently, var count equals 0, perm array was an empty array, used characters was an empty array. I had a function called permute, which took an input. It would split it up, and this looks similar to what we did, except, I mean, sort of. And basically perm array, so if we look there, it would repeat, it would do all the permutations. Code should always be in red size 72 pixels. Yeah, I don't think I was frustrated or anything when I made it that font. So use your code. Don't make it difficult for yourself. Why would I not make it difficult for myself? Okay, so this makes permutations. Maurice, holy moly, he has an antler right now. He's just throwing it up in the air and catching it in his mouth like a goon. Their counter is the length of the array with all the permutations. This is the number of total permutations, including those with repeats. Right? That's what I think it looks like. Var repeats, which is another function, which takes in something called perm, which has not yet been defined, I don't think. Okay, so has repeats is a false thing. Okay, so it starts off false. We're looking at each individual thing right now. It does not have repeats. We're going to loop through the specific word. So perm is going to be an individual permutation, an entry in the array, perm array. If he didn't have headgear, he'd probably be asleep. No, he's falling asleep right now. Has repeats, no, there. So we're going through in a loop, just like we did before. I didn't use any fancy like filter or any things we were talking about earlier, like sort or whatever, that probably would have been more efficient. And in the future, I would like to go back and do this bonfire with functional programming language, like those types of functions, instead of just like a, you know, boatload of for loops, like I always do. So this goes through a break. Oh, so if it's not like a infinite loop, great. If at any point in the word there is a character that is equal to the character right behind it, then the variable has repeats will be triggered to true. So it will have repeats. We're returning has repeats. Okay, so then here's a declaration of something. Okay. I'm looking at the chat real quick. Permutations you go through to get there are what interest me. So these are the original permutations. This is how we get the permutations. I'm like pointing with my hands like you can see this. Repeats, this is the function that will be applied to each individual entry in the array, to each permutation. If it does have repeats, it will be return true. If it does not have any repeats, it will return false. I don't know why this is here. Maybe that will be relevant later. Maybe that will be made clear. More perm variables. Fantastic. Var perm array 1 equals perm array sort. So we're sorting it. Hey, we talked about that. Var perm array false and var perm array true. Var perm array 2. So these are just a bunch of empty arrays that I'm going to do stuff with later. Another for loop. Get out of town. In my code, no way. I use for loops all the time. If no repeats. Perm array 1. Wait, repeats. Have we already? Oh, that was the second function. Perm array 1 L. Then we will push to the false array. If not, we will push it to the true array. So what we're doing is we're going through and decide, looking at if it does have permutations, or if it does have repeats, we push it to a specific array. And if it does not have any repeats, we push it to the other array. Thanks, Briana. I gotta go. Okay, bye. Bye, Zistig. Okay. There's a good chance that this actual function, as it is right now, doesn't work. When I saved it onto my own Google Drive, it probably wasn't completed, and once I actually did it right in the browser, I was probably so happy that I forgot to copy and paste my code back in there. So there's a good chance that we still will have something to fix. We do not need to send it to false array. I don't know why I did that. It was probably just so I could check along the way to see if the repeats function was doing what I wanted it to do. That'd be my guess, but it's definitely not necessary. A bonfire isn't complete unless it has at least 12 for loops. Mission accomplished. And this would have been complete a long time ago. Okay, apparently I noted to myself, all I have left to do is get rid of any repetitions in perm array true. That means some things were apparently repeated in perm array true, like multiple of the same permutation. Interesting. Don't know why that would happen, but I guess it happened. I wrote pseudocode, absolutely. It probably changed a lot. I'd be wrong, however you can check this. You might find it easy to explain. So here's another for loop. Shocker. For the length of the true, so we're looking only at the array of the permutations with no repeats, repeated characters. And we're using the same repeat function that we wrote earlier, that I wrote earlier, to see if any of those entries are repeated. And if they are, then we push them to the false array. But that wouldn't... Wait a second. Why was that step necessary? I will answer your question in just a second. Bye, Herman. Why did I need this here? If it's, oh, and perm array 2 pushed. Oh, okay, I see. So perm array 2 is different than perm array true. So we're pushing, I see. Okay, so yeah, we're just double checking that there's no repeated entries in the final solution. Subtract 1 for every repeat in perm array 1. Okay, return perm array 2. Yeah, this is totally not going to work. This is like not done at all. AAB is not defined. Don't know why this is here. Turned out not to be necessary. Length of undefined. What are you talking about? Here or here? So this is what I'd written. This is where we're at now. This is obviously not completed code. And even it won't let us return perm array 2. So I don't know what length they're talking about being undefined. Does anybody see what line of code that's in? Here, oh, look what I can do. Because it's a beta thing, I can paste this into the chat. That is long. Ugh. Sorry, everybody. And you can look at it yourselves. Sorry. Jeez. Okay, going back. Somebody asked a question, do you have to do nonprofit work to get your certificate? No, you do not. Especially not the front end certificate. To get the front end certificate, you just need to do bonfires and zip lines. You have to declare length. So the summit will start. No, I'm sorry, Yalu. The summit is over. I'm sorry, it happened about 3 hours ago. And it's over now. I'm sorry. It will be up on YouTube shortly, and you can watch it then. Now what we're doing is, yes, the summit's already over. I'm sorry, guys. If you've been in here this whole time thinking I was going to say something useful, I'm sorry. I'm not. We're just doing bonfires. You're watching me stumble my way through this difficult bonfire. Yep, it'll be up on YouTube. I apparently, okay, what's up with these being commas instead of, oh, I see what I did. I just declared differently. So I apparently have to do var length. Oh, it's like I used count up here, but down there I never used count. I just did length. Ooh, yeah. Ben, are you still watching? Can you update the title? I don't know how to do that. I was taught once and I forgot. Length equals 1. Yeah, I don't think it's that. I don't think it's defining length. It's like I'm trying to find the length of something. Just length here. What do you mean? Can somebody tell me what? After summit bonfires with Briana? That might work. So people know that summit has already passed. Okay. I'm trying to look for which line of code so it's telling me that I'm trying to find the length of something that's undefined. Just refresh your screen and the correct title will come up. Okay. The Briana show. So this is going to be me troubleshooting. Return true. It's either going to return unexpected token return. Okay, so whenever permalone is done, let's see, return true. Can we do it there? Unexpected token var. No, so like there's problems way above here. Line 20 string defined. 5. String is I think string is the same thing up there. I think. Thank you, Ben. Line 11. What's up with line 11? Check down. So here's a length, permute string dot length. Here's a length dot perm. Now it's 10. 4. Oh, chars equals length. Because that, let's see, is chars defined as, down more, I saw length. Sorry, chat, the lag here, it's hard. You need to assign a value to string. String is the input value, though, right? Because of the original, oh, maybe not. Yeah, because of this string, I guess, but that's out of scope, isn't it? Yes, I believe that's out of scope. So we do need to assign a value to string. Let's continue from here. Okay, how do I do that? How about permute? What about permute? Oh, wait a second. No, it's not out of scope because this belongs here. So string, this should still be in, scope. That sounds like an insult. IKLL7. That sounds mean. I'm not going to look at that. That seems like a mean thing to say about what I'm doing right now. My brain, why? Hey, is the guy that even asked me to do this still here? Didn't he have to leave? Because that would be like the trolliest. That'd be super trolly. Be like, oh yeah, just do this really hard. Do this hard one, bye. Have fun. If he left, we're doing something else. Unexpected token there. Chat, be more helpful. I need your help. People that are in the chat, I need your help. Come back. My brain is melting. So this way, you get to see that you're not the only one that feels like your brain is melting when you're solving algorithms. My brain feels that way too. See, we're finding some silver lining here. Very used cares. Oh, well, but see, I don't know why I tried this fancy business. What was I thinking? Why are there so many spaces here? What was I doing? Oh my gosh. Holy moly. Oh, I see. Yep, HK51 was right. This used to be fine, and then I messed with it when I added var lines, or var length, and I didn't. Okay, now we're back to the original problem. Great. Post the code to Replit, then share the link. Oh, okay, I can do that. Replit. Languages, JavaScript. I am going to post the code in here. I'm going to share it with this link. Fabulous. Boom. P.S. The 100 people that are still here watching, you're awesome. I don't know why you're choosing to spend your Saturday doing this, but that's cool, and I'm glad you're here. Went from bonfires to putting out fires. Okay, line 29. Meanwhile, Sam Scripts is actually doing useful things with his time while I'm making drum jokes. Perm.length. Okay, why doesn't it know what perm is? Let's see. Perm is right here, and this is within the scope of that function. My name is Briana. I will also respond to Beyonce, but formally my first name is Briana. Okay. I'm glad you guys are learning things. Talk code lingo. Jive words, code lingo. So perm should be defined in line 29. That should be there. Beyonce. I need more coffee and like food. Pseudocode. D-Ting just sent me things. D-Ting, I'm going to look at that and you should know. But I don't remember if we've ever talked on Gitter before. But it will all be shown here. Pseudocode. Oh. Is this still from that other thing? You're still talking about pseudocode? Holy mackerel, you guys. Let it go, let it go. I sing that to third graders when they're super mad at each other and they do not think it's funny. They're like, Miss Swift, I'm not going to let it go. Okay, we're focusing. We are on task. We are talking about which length is undefined. And I don't think it's the one in line 29 because that's defined, or it's in scope of line 27. Right? Right. I think. So if I want to just try this, if I do return true here, will it do it? Yeah. So nothing's broken up to line 23. Let's see if it's broken in here. Maybe you're right. Nope. That's not broken because it can return true there. It doesn't get stuck yet. How about here? There's no length between there and then, so that should definitely not do it. It's line 25. What do you mean it's line 25? Because if I put true after that, I have bad news. I'm probably not going to solve this in 20 minutes. If you check, counter is function. That's not a sentence that I understood. If you check, counter is function. Oh, here. Permute string dot length. This one isn't working? There's no defining length. The fail line. Jesus. Okay, you could have said that nicer Angry Apple GW2. Just because you're right doesn't mean you gotta be rude. I'm doing it. Chill. Okay. See, look, when I open this, the free debug tools, you gotta be more specific, man. How long have I been going through free code camp? Okay, I'm trying so hard to stay on task. I'm gonna focus on this right now. He's fired. That is awesome. Angry Apple, I think you're totally right, but you're gonna need to be more specific. Guys, chill out. He's trying to be helpful. I get that you're trying to be helpful, Angry Apple. If you could be a little bit more specific, that would be helpful. Line 25. Okay, I'm looking at line 25. Permute string dot length. Why isn't that working? Comment it out and the error goes away. Do I need a counter? Did I even need that there? Why did I have that there in the first place? Why did I think that I needed a counter? Because I don't use that later, do I? Oh my gosh. Yeah, no, I had it, and then I commented that out too. What? This is baloney. I'm going to erase that. So now all the lines are different, everybody. Sorry. If I change it on my repla thing. Hi, Hermione. Hi. This is my cat. She's saying too. Wait, that's not the thing I want to erase. I'm using a keyboard with like a little mouse pad. This is Hermione. Am I using change line 40 of Tovar Perm Array 1? Ooh. Oh, I'm gonna see if this will update here. Can you guys refresh the replit and tell me if it's updated? Because that'd be great, because then the line numbers would be the same. If Hermione makes a reappearance, I'll show you that she doesn't have a tail. She was born tailless. We're focusing. We are on task. I seriously think the guy that asked me to do this left. And I have words for him. What was his name? Somebody go find that. I have to tweet some things at him. They're not going to be that mean, but I'm going to give him a hard time. Bye, Gadget Guy. Thanks for spending your lunch break here. That's cool. Line 40. They were saying, change line 40 to var perm array 1 equals perm array 1 dot sort. Okay. Oops. Not yet, Jeff. I got your getter message. Not yet. Actually, yes. Only if it is in the context of everything I currently have. If you solved it a totally different way, that's awesome. Which, let's see, he just sent me something. I'll have to reshare the link. In line 8, you're using input, but you're not using the function. Okay. I'm going to check out I'm going to do a couple things. First, I'm going to take my current code. I'm going to update this, save, and share. I'm going to reshare this in the chat. And then I'm going to look at what Jeff said. But first I'm going to address this. So Einstein's definition of insanity doing the same thing. This is not the same thing over and over again. First of all, what is retained? I don't know if you're referring to something specific in the text, like a word that is called retained or something else. Trouble with algorithm scripting. It's nice to have a hint that helps out. Agreed. You are not alone. Yeah, I'm not an expert at this, so if you're asking me to give you a hint, It depends on what it is, what you're talking about, because some things I can do that for, but other people are. If you're ever looking for help and hints, checking out the Bonfires or the help chat room and clicking help on the Bonfire page, you know, there's a lot of people that can help you do that. Once you get into the more advanced ones like this one, you have to be a little bit specific about what portion of the algorithm you're having trouble with to get a hint that's specific to what you're needing. Okay, yeah, this is a totally different way than I did it, which is okay, but I'm going to focus on this way right now. Line 8, you are using input, but you are not using it in the function. Very possible. Yep. You're right. But the function still works. What's a task here? Angry Apple, we are trying to pass this algorithm challenge called a Bonfire on freeCodeCamp. If somebody wants to pop that link in there, that'd be great. You can check it my find symbol. Okay, just so everyone's on the same page here. What I have right now isn't totally functional. I'm getting help in the chat from people. Some of it is specific in their own solutions. Some is little pieces of solutions, and some people are asking other questions that are sort of related and not totally related. The goal is still to finish this bonfire. I'm going to focus on figuring out what so far this bonfire can do so that I can ask a more specific question that the chat can help me with instead of everybody trying to help in their own ways. Because even though it's helpful, I'm not on the same page as you. I'm not there yet. So I'm going to try and, using return, see what's there. If I do, so perm_array2 is still empty. Let's look at perm_array_true. What's that? Nothing. If I'm returning perm_array_true, it's nothing. What about perm_array_false? Nothing. Okay, what about perm_array? Nothing. Oh man. Have anything? Do I have anything? Perm_array1? Is anybody a populated array? No. We're supposed to pass string to permute, but you're not using input. It's not working. All I have left to do is get rid of any repetitions in perm_array_true. Oh, this is not working? Yeah. Oh, this is not. But even up here, like if I... So this is what it said originally down here. I'm going to comment that out. Up here, if I say return perm_array1, there's nothing in perm_array1. Like it's empty. Delete L and put M. Where? Oh, ha, ha! Let's see if that fixes everything or not. If that fixes everything, I'm gonna be. Well, I just messed it up. You did not delete the first one. Oh, there's a lag. Cyber Angel, I don't know what you're talking about. I see input in permute. Yeah, input is used. I don't know. I'm ignoring Cyber Angel right now. Sorry, Cyber Angel. So, we're at the point of debugging without using any console tools right now, which I'm not against. We might do that, where all of my arrays have nothing in them. So wherever I start to push things into the arrays, it's not working. Even perm_array is empty. What if I do it here? Return perm_array. Is there anything in perm_array now? No. So my permute function isn't working, right? It's not working. Tell you what, guys, here's the deal. Seeing as the people, I mean, unless anybody in the chat is super vocal, they're like, yes, I would love to keep working on this bonfire, which if you do, we will keep working on it. That's fine. But if nobody says that, here's what we're going to do in 5 minutes. We're going to look at the answer that Jeff Storbeck sent me, and we're going to talk through that, and then we're going to work on another bonfire. Because I feel like we're at a point here where for me to actually figure this out without specific tips from people who already know this code forwards and backwards, which nobody does because you're just now looking at it, it's not a good use of anybody's time. I'm starting to lose it. I'm sure you guys are getting bored of seeing this. So that's the deal. Unless anybody's like, no, please spend an hour fixing this. Then fine, I'll do that. I want to continue working on it unless there's a better way to do it. Do it now. Okay, we'll do it now. Great. Glad we're on the same page. This is what Jeff sent me. You guys hear my dog? Var permutations. This is a much more efficient function. We're gonna talk through the answer. This is the answer. We're talking through it. You're gonna be okay, Cyber Angel. You're gonna make it. The functions that are here. See, look at, instead of using 500 for loops, which I'm not against. He used methods / functions that are built in. You'll see them in the functional programming challenges in the map. Concat, reduce, map, concat. They're awesome. Do you see how much smaller? This is 24 lines of code. I haven't tested it yet, so I'm not sure it works, but I trust Jeff. So those type of functions can take so much, like so many characters out of your code. That being said, depending on what you're trying to do with these functions and how big your site is and how many users you have, they're not necessarily as scalable. It really depends. But in terms of simplicity in this case, A+, Jeff Storbeck, as always. He uses a counter here, so it looks like we're going to be counting how many permutations have no repeats. So hey, look, there is a for loop. Fabulous. We're going for as long as the length of the array called permutations. If, using regex, test permutations. Okay. So basically, if there's not any repeats, which is I'm assuming what this one means, then we're going to add one to the counter. Then we return the counter. Let's see what happens. I'm going to copy this into the thing. If this saves as my code, I'm going to feel really guilty because I didn't do it. Oh, look how pretty that looks, those colors. Jeff, the real MVP. Okay. Okay. Run tests. Jeff Storbeck, man of the hour, once again. Great. So, moral of the story is, understand functional programming before you attempt this. I'm running for president for the United States. My vote's for Jeff. I'm voting for Jeff Storbeck for president. I don't care what party he's in. Okay, great. Let's do another bonfire that's not so hard. All right? That'd be good. I'm going to need some more medication for my ADHD if we're going to try and do anything that hard again, if I'm being honest. Guys, what are you talking about on the chat? You are not helping us be on task. I have a really awesome YouTube series for learning functional programming. Link it. Link it. Now explain. I don't know what you're talking about, Samasale. Return largest number in arrays. If that isn't the first several, explain. We just walked. I thought that I must not have done a very good job because I thought that we kind of walked through. I guess we didn't do it in super detail. Jeff with the G. The G. Am I going crazy or did I not walk through this well enough? Oh, you want me to walk through the specific functional programming methods? Is that what? Is that what you want me to do? Because we can do that. Huh? This is crazy. See, Jeff, they're voting for you too. Voting for Jeff. Chat lag, you kill me. Okay, I have about 40 more minutes on this thing before I'm going to go. I'm going to have to log off here and eat some food. Get ready for work tonight. So while I'm waiting for the chat to answer the question about what they want me to explain, return largest number in arrays looks like the only suggestion. Let's see where it is. Basic, I can do that. Okay. Bonfire, return largest number in arrays. Return an array consisting of the largest number from each provided subarray. Oh yeah, this one. For simplicity, the provided array will contain exactly 4 subarrays. Okay? Cool. 4 smaller arrays. 4 smaller arrays that have 4 numbers in them. You can iterate through an array with a simple for loop and access each member with an array syntax array I. If you are writing your own chai tests, deep equal, or else you'll get messed up. How is it possible to put comparison operators in concat? I think if I'm understanding that question correctly, okay, so it's a question about the concat operator. And in here, have you checked out Samasail, the MDN page for concat? Because that might be a helpful place for you to look. I'm going to move on from this right now. I'm going to go back to the bonfire and keep on that. Okay. So we're looking for the largest array, the largest number in each specific array. And what we will return is an array of those numbers. So here it would be like 5, 27, 39, 1001. That's the goal. So if we click, I'll change something here, and test. So that's what we're looking at here. So you can check the tests here and see what the solutions are going to be. If you're not familiar with the bonfires yet, then you should check out how this testing works, because it's a really good way to figure out what exactly you're doing wrong if you're not sure. But let's go ahead and write some pseudocode. Okay, pseudocode. First thing we're going to do, guess what, guys? You're going to get to see some for loops. Although, would this be easier with functional programming? Talk real, guys. Would I save myself some characters? Chai.js is a testing system, so like these tests, I don't know if these are written in Chai or not, but it's a way to test your own code. And so if you're going to be writing your own tests, they just wanted to make sure you use deep equal, which is 3, I think. Isn't that the difference? Okay, so here, if we're going to use for loops, loop through large array to work in individual subarrays. Then, in subarrays, we are going to find the largest, I use nested for loops, yeah, me too, find the largest number in that subarray. That'll be broken up into several steps. Then, you know what, I'm going to add a step here. We're going to want to add Steve Carroll, I believe so. Don't use for loops, Angry Apple. Be more specific. Be more specific with your criticisms. If I don't use for loops, I don't know what to do. You are in map category. They don't want you to use for loops. Who's they? They don't care as long as it works. I need a variable to store the largest number in each array. to store largest number, assign it to variable. Angry apple, if a student said duh in my classroom after helping someone, I would tell them that they could say it nicer. I'm sorry, it probably feels like I'm picking on you, Angry Apple. I'm sorry, I don't mean to. Okay, then we assign it to the variable. Then we push that variable to a solution array. Then we clear the variable. Because if we don't, then if there's a larger number in the third subarray than any of the numbers in the fourth subarray, then the fourth subarray will return an incorrect number at that step. If you're using map. I'm not using map right now. I'm not using map. Right now I'm trying to solve it with for loops. Okay, clear the variable and then rinse repeat. So that would be in a loop, do that for all subarrays. Man, math.max apply and array map. Oh, Angry Apple, I see what you did there. Believe it or not, map, if you're familiar with freeCodeCamp, is what they call, I'm going to open it in a new tab. I have a couple of tabs open. This is the challenge map. This is all a map of all the challenges and all the exercises and all the waypoints and everything else. So that's not, all of this doesn't necessarily apply to the JavaScript map, if that's what you're referring to. But I like what you did there. Math.max apply. Array map. Okay. So if I'm going to start a new pseudocode for if we choose to use map. Okay. Stay with me because it's going to take me a second because I haven't done, like I said, functional programming. I have my head wrapped around reading it, but writing it I haven't done a lot of. Bye, Torch. So if I do array dot, oops. So I need to, when I map out the array like this, array dot map, then inside of these parentheses, wait a second. Should I be doing this on each individual array? Should I loop, have a big loop like for 0, length, I plus Maurice, and then array I dot map, yeah? Loop through the 4 arrays and use on me to save the result. Cool. Yeah, I'm pretty much, I'm like 99% positive, guys, that functional programming doesn't, the intent of the people that wrote the Bonfires is the functional programming to be used in the advanced Bonfires, the advanced algorithm scripting, because there are courses on functional programming, and those happen directly before the advanced Bonfires. So this is a basic Bonfire. I'm pretty sure, based on the lesson structure, that the intent is not to use that yet. So I'm going to create an empty var solution array equals empty array. Oh, I did this super wrong. Shocking. Me getting something wrong. Math.max.apply. No, because we're not using that part of it. Then array. Okay, I see. Why do I feel like there's too many of these? Okay. For loops can be used in functional programming, Steve, but basically things like concat and map are functional programming. That's like a term. I don't know why that term applies because there's functions and all different types of this. You can use, they're not exclusive for for loops with or against, but generally they replace something that would be done with a for loop or with a loop of some kind. Okay, so here I want to solution array.push this thing, right? Read it, yes, no, they are core knowledge. I agree, Angry Apple. I'm not trying to argue with you, man. I agree they are core knowledge. That being said, this course is for beginners, and they have to, you know, everything is, I mean, everything that is core knowledge, you still can't learn right at one time. I'm not trying to argue with you, man. I'm just saying. I believe that my belief is the intent, not necessarily. It can be done, yes, but that's not necessarily the intent. Okay. Solution array pairs knowledge. Okay. So let's see what happens if we do solution array. Why isn't this blue? Shouldn't this be blue? Because it's already defined. Unexpected token var. Ooh. Why is that unexpected? Var solution array equals 0. Okay. Oh. Oh. Hey! Hey, that was pretty quick. So the deal was that these extra things here were bad. Math.max apply. Good job, guys. That totally did work. If we watch, yeah, cool. So just because I think it's useful, let's try. I want you to help me figure out how to do this with map instead of with this for loop, which I still think isn't horrible. One for loop will not ruin the world. Recap. Okay, quick recap of what this is. This is a function. The function's intent is to return the largest number of 4 different arrays. So not the largest number total, but in each array, the largest number. So what we do here, we set up a solution array that we're going to push the largest numbers to. In this first, in the for loop, we are going through each individual array, subarray, and within that array, we are looking for the max, which is the largest, using the math.max apply, which is that's where the math happens. Null happens here because there's no operator there. We're looking at that specific array, right? We're pushing the max of that specific array in the loop. So if it's the first one, then we're pushing it to the solution array. Guys, why are you talking about this? This like movie thing. Jeff, the man of the president, the Jeff president, there I said it, has made this awesome function into a functional programming example. Yes, we want to iterate through every array in the array, and we want a new array. Great, that's map. Angry Apple, your sarcasm, you're laying it on pretty thick. I'm doing my best here, man. Chill. Take a deep breath, Angry Apple. Be a happy apple. You're not chilling. You're still going. He asked about it in the chat. He left the stream. I'm raging. Okay, so this is the functional version that President Jeff made. Let's look at it. Oh my gosh, look! Angry Apple, you can finally sleep at night. It uses map. Aren't you so happy? You're so happy it uses map. I don't believe that you're chilling. I don't believe you. Actions speak louder than words, Angry Apple. But look, it's going to be okay. Look what Jeff did for you, because he's a benevolent president. Array map function array. So we're mapping. Yeah. which you're right, it does the same thing. It goes through each and every one. I never said you were wrong, did I? I just said it wasn't the time, and look at that. It does it. Fabulous. And it was great for all 2 of the tests that it ran. Cool. So, I can't believe there's still 95 people. Most of them probably are taking a nap. But I'm glad you're still here. Unfortunately, I have got to sign off. I need to eat some food and get ready for work. Because in addition to being a teacher, I sometimes work at a restaurant. So I'm going to go. But you guys rock. And are you guys saying that you're not napping? That's good. I'm glad you're not napping. I wish I was napping. President Jeff is not benevolent. He rules with an iron fist, and he wants to ban Apple from the internet forever. Shift Talk, I'm sorry. I don't know if you can rewatch this video right now. That's my honest answer. I don't know. Once I like close it down, there's a chance that you can rewatch it on Twitch. I don't know. You have to try. You guys are so nice. Thanks for being so nice to me. Most of you. I'm looking at you angry. Well, I'm just giving you a hard time. I believe that you're not angry. Yeah. Have a great weekend, you guys. Go code some things. Oh, and follow me on Twitter. Yeah? Briana Marie 132. Tweet at me all the time. Okay.